Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Ondiavari Presents, the series where I bring you the creepiest real-life stories and locations from around the world. Before we begin, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a future episode. If you enjoy this episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Now sit back, turn off the lights, and let's begin. Now, I know a lot of this stuff sounds like bullshit, and you're right, it really does. Sure, looking back at it now, I could have arrested her. Hell, I could have even killed the bitch. And so could have the commander. But you know what? When you find yourself in a situation as impossible and as unreal as that one, you don't act rationally. You don't think logically as you would in a normal situation. I went home, took a cold shower, after making sure my doors were locked, and I collapsed on the bed. In the morning, I texted my shift buddy to see if Commander was okay, and his, "Yeah, why wouldn't he be?" text back meant he made it. That's all I needed to know. I was out of that life. My niece came in town on Friday, and I had her for the weekend. Running around a 7-year-old will make you lose your mind, let alone leave the time to think about some crazy woman harassing you. Besides, I was done with that job. That morning, I got transfer papers. I spent the whole day taking the kid different places she liked. Shit was exhausting. Saturday morning, I made her some breakfast as we watched cartoons for the good part of it. Then we put in a Catwoman movie, and my niece dressed as her. She loved her for some reason. Movie was complete trash. I guess I wasn't used to having to take care of the kids because I fell asleep on the couch, already exhausted. My niece woke me up. "Ookie," she said. That's what she calls me. "Ookie, let's play." She was holding my old pair of walkie-talkies. I used to love those as a kid, so I couldn't say no to her. "Sure, let's see if these old things work. Go outside of the house. I want to check the range on these babies." Her face lit up as she ran out. I turned the walkie-talkie on and started playing with it. Static noise was there, meaning the batteries worked. It was only a matter of finding the right frequency. "Ashley? Ashley, do you copy? Over." I tried a few times. I finally heard something. "Ashley, do you copy? I repeat, do you copy? Over." "Hello?" was all I heard at low volume. "Ashley, you punk, you need to say over when you're done." "Hero?" I heard again. This damn thing, I thought. Too lazy to go out. I took the batteries out, blew at them, as if that ever does anything, and put them back in. "Okay, Catwoman hero. Do you copy now? Over." 0. I dropped the walkie-talkie. That wasn't Ashley's voice. That wasn't hero I thought I heard. Ashley. I ran outside and immediately started fucking hating myself for letting the child go out on its own. Ashley stood in the yard, holding a radio, squeezing it hard. In front of her stood that same woman, bent over and all the way down to my kid's face. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 was what woman frantically repeated in Ashley's traumatized face. Yeah, when some freak harasses me, I can control myself. But a child? My cousin? I lost it. I ran towards the woman and tackled her with enough force I was sure I'd hurt her. As soon as I hit the ground, I got up and grabbed Ashley. "Are you alright?" I yelled. "Did she touch you?" I didn't even realize how hard I was shaking her, probably scaring her even more. Ashley was now crying so hard she couldn't even answer. "Let's go in," I said as I turned toward the woman. She was still laying on the ground, facing down. As soon as we got into the house, we went to the window. The woman started standing up. She turned toward us. "I'm calling the police," I told terrified Ashley as I picked up my cell. "Don't worry, baby. It's going to be alright." The woman took a step toward the window. Then another one. Her nose was bleeding and she was visibly hurt as she was limping. But it didn't seem to matter to her. I'll admit, I was nearly frozen from the rush of adrenaline I had. We just stood there at the window, watching this freak approaching us. "Police are on the way," I told my niece, who was still crying. The woman walked up to the window. She wasn't looking at me anymore. She leaned towards Ashley's face. Poor little thing grabbed my hand and was squeezing it way too hard for a 7-year-old. That fucking thing, bitch, woman, whatever she was, leaned all the way to the window. Only a piece of glass was separating her from Ashley. As I was about to take my niece into another room, far from this thing, the woman opened her mouth, but immediately closed it into a smile. Then again, it was fucking impossibly strange. As she opened her mouth, her pupils would shoot up towards the back of her head, only to immediately come back followed with a smile. She was now alternating inhumanly fast in between a smile and a gaping mouth, paired with nearly pupilless eyes. "Let's get out of here," I told Ashley as I picked her up and took her to my room. Police arrived about 15 minutes later. They started scanning the neighbourhood and actually caught a woman who matched my description. I was due at the police station for identification, but first I had to drop Ashley off at the train station. Her mum wanted her back immediately after what happened, and I couldn't blame her. I took her to the station where I arranged for the staff to watch her until her destination. A very pleasant conductor promised he'd watch her whole trip. He took Ashley's hand and promised to show her all the cool parts of the train. Finally, the kid smiled. As the train was getting ready to leave, conductor put my niece on the stairs. "Say bye to your uncle," he said. "We're about to leave." "Bye, Ashley. Tell your mum to call me when you arrive, okay?" She didn't respond to me, which was understandable. The kid was probably still fucking terrified. Hell, I was still terrified. As the announcer said all boarding was complete, conductor opened the door for them to get inside the train. Ashley didn't move though. She looked up at the conductor. "Let's go now," he said. Ashley opened her mouth, looking up at the man. "We have to get in now. We're about to start moving, honey," he said again. "Let's go." As he entered the train and Ashley followed, I heard her say, 10, 9, 8. I am planning to write about what happened to Ashley at some point, though her family prefers it's kept private. I know many of you were hoping for closure at the end of this 3-part story. However, the Facebook page associated with the story is no longer available. We will never know what happened to Ashley. Thank you for listening. Thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this presentation. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. You can follow me on most social media and even chat with me over at the Outcast Discord server. If you really enjoy what I do, consider supporting me on Patreon from as little as $2 a month. There are rewards, sneak peeks, and other Patreon-only exclusives. There is now official Join the Cult merch available from Teespring, so be sure to check that out too. All links are available in the description below. Thank you again, and remember, it's always scarier when it's real. Good night.